Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
Kia ora and welcome to the Radioactive.fm Orcon live room. We're joined here today by Tom Verberne. How are you going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, who have you got here in the room with you? You've got a crew here.
Yeah, we got the band. We got Ezra on drums, Lucian on the bass, and then Charlie on the guitar. Who's my
Fantastic.
brother.
Brother
Funny
Charlie.
one.
Love it. Little family affair going on. Cool. For those listeners who haven't heard your music before, how would you describe what music you make?
I'd say my last album was pretty kind of emo-y, but emo pop, I'd say. Dreamo pop is the word we use.
Quite moody.
Yeah, it's quite moody and emo in the sense that the lyrics are pretty self-deprecating and honest and vulnerable and all that jazz, but yeah, it's kind of dreamy as well, I'd say.
Wicked. Were you musical growing up as a kid?
Yeah, we grew up in a pretty musical household. Our dad played music until he had us and had to get a real job. But yeah, we used to just sit and play along to AC/DC on the weekends and stuff.
Wicked.
That's how I got into it, really.
Cool. Was there one sort of moment where you were like, this is what I'm gonna do?
I didn't really know if there was one moment, really. It was
Yeah.
kind of just always there. I don't even remember learning to play the guitar or anything. It was just kind of happened.
Yeah. And then from starting so young, I guess, how would you say your sound has kind of evolved? Or is it still evolving even?
I reckon it's still evolving. I'm a pretty malleable. I just kind of change all the time depending on what I'm listening to and all that. About once a week. So I go through phases of went through a rock phase earlier this year and then an electronic phase, and now I'm into country music kind of. So
Cool,
yeah,
I love it.
It's
Just
I'm waiting for
absorbing everything you can.
I'm waiting for the time when it all comes together and I get my own unique sound.
Yeah.
But who knows when that will happen.
Until then.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we'd love to hear a song. So what have you got up first for us?
This one's called My Heart and My Mind Teamed Up.
Cool.
It's off the album.
Should've kissed you, I should've shared my mind. Guess I fantasize. Oh, your eyes, I can't read your eyes. It's a dark in disguise. Guess it comes with time. I should have kissed you when I could. White eyes and days, joy back and I lost weight. So much I wanna say. Got big face. Celebrate, cure my heartache. Filling up my brain with magic days. Wanna get to know your face to face. From your place. Your invitation got me levitating. Nice and high, you keep me waiting. I'm waiting, I'm waiting. I'm waiting, I'm waiting. It's my heart and my mind teamed up. Coming closer when I'm making love to you. And I can make you happy. Girl, I should have kissed you. I should
with Tom Verberne here in the Active Live room. If you're just tuning in, just letting you know that we are video recording this and that will be up on our Facebook page later on this afternoon. So if you want to head over to radioactive.fm's Facebook, you can check that out later and give Tom Verberne a like while you're there, because why not?
I need to make a Facebook page, actually. I don't have
Oh,
one.
you don't have Facebook?
No,
Never
I
mind
just
then.
have Instagram, though.
You can only find his personal.
Adam is a friend.
Yeah,
Okay.
just add me as a friend, though.
Cool. So you're based in Auckland at the moment, is that right?
Yes.
But you were in Wellington
Yeah.
before that.
I
Yeah.
went to Massey for a year,
Yeah.
and then lived, and then went to Auckland this year,
Yeah.
which is cool.
I don't really know much about the Auckland music scene personally, but is it quite tight-knit for you?
I'd say it's a little bit different. Like Wellington was more like you hear like all of our friends were playing in bands, so we'd go see them like every weekend and stuff. But Auckland, I mean, this year's been really weird for gigs and stuff, so I can't really
Yeah.
tell. Like I was only there for like 2 months before the whole COVID thing kicked off. So, but I mean, like you get the bigger acts and stuff. We used to at least in Auckland, so that was kind of an attraction for moving
Yeah.
up as well.
Do you feel that the place you're in affects the kind of music you make?
It's an interesting question. I'd say maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at home, I went home for lockdown, and that wasn't really great for my music. It just got pretty, like, uninspired.
Yeah.
But I think that was just kind of being in the same room for 5 weeks. But
Yeah. I guess I kind of asked that because I saw that you went over to the States
Oh, yeah.
a little while ago, and
Yeah.
you visited LA and New York to do some music sort of stuff there.
Yeah.
So what were some of the biggest differences you noticed between the music scene over there and here in New Zealand?
It was just like, it's just a whole nother game over there, really. Like, I had like a few music friends who I went with Luke, actually. We went and stayed with, and we like made music with them. But it was mostly just like kind of friend-based. So like I didn't really get a grasp on the whole like music scene of LA, if you know what I mean.
Is that somewhere you see yourself ever in the future?
New York more than
New York?
over LA, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be
I'm big into
crazy.
New York.
Cool. Well, we'd love to hear another song. What have you got up next?
This one's called Fall. It's a pretty old one of mine, but
Cool.
it's nice.
Met you in the fall last year, it fell hard. Brown eyes, they shot right through mine. Met you in the fall last year, again, I did it again. Wish I was back, you're my favorite person. Had no secrets, yeah, I don't care. Had no weekends that we don't share. Got close right after you got your hair. We both hate the town that we grew up within. Had to escape with the bottles of gin. Cigarettes at nearly every time. Now that I'm out, I left you out. I left you behind. I left you behind. I left you behind. See, God knows I wish you were here. I need a breath of fresh air. God knows that it isn't fair. I wish you would talk to my bed. Cause I've been hating when I wake up, it's just staying in my head. I've been dreaming days up that we haven't got to have. Been coming up with reasons to put your face in my head. Yeah, 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 yeah. Think we have to say goodbye again. Do it too often. Can't you lose your pen? You in the fall last year, it fell hard. Brown eyes, they shot right through mine. Met you in the fall last year, can I live it again? Wish I was back, you're my favorite person. Met you in the fall last year, it fell hard. Brown eyes, they shot right through mine. Met you in the fall last year, can I live it again? Wish I was back, you're my favorite person. I crave a new summer, watching days pass by. Think I need to drink some more, cause pain needs time. last fall, they put my heart on the line. But did you put yours out too? Don't you think that I don't need that? I just think back, that's all. And I lean back, cigarette pack, few drinks, late night call. I've been hoping every day my tomorrow's dead. Think about your pretty face, can't get you out my head. It's you in the fall, so hard. Brown eyes, they shot right through mine. Met you in the fall last year, can I live it again? Wish I was back in the neighbor. Met you in the fall last year, so hard. Brown eyes, they shot right through mine. Met you in the fall last year.
This emotion so never ends. Fingers through and nothing means not pretend. Covering this emotion so never ends. Fingers through and nothing means not pretend.
Amazing. Is that you on the backing vocals there?
There's
Or
actually
just-
Luke.
That's Luke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
wicked.
Yeah,
It
it's
sounds
just-
really,
it's-
really good.
It's funny, I don't play bass on that one because the 808s, but I
Yeah.
feature on it, so it's
Ah,
like the one
cool.
song I don't play is the one I feature on.
Cool. So, Tom, it seems you've been like pretty productive this year, considering everything, because you had an album come out in June and then a bunch of singles as well. How do you kind of manage to stay creative in crazy times like these?
It's pretty hard, to be honest. Like, I don't think there's a formula for it. You just kind of like tried. Like, by the end of lockdown, the first time and the second time, because we were in lockdown in Auckland, like by halfway through, I was just like doing nothing. Like trying to write music, but I was like, what do I even write lyrics about? Or like, what's
Yeah.
happening? So I just decided to make some instrumental music, which was kind of fun. But yeah.
Just try a bunch of different things and see what happens.
Yeah, keep it fresh, keep it new.
Yeah, so your album, which is called I'll Watch You Do Anything, that was the one that was released in June and is your second album. How long were you working on that for?
That one's like, started on it pretty, like in my first year of uni. Some of the songs were made around then. And then I kind of just worked on it for the next year. And then it kind of took like half a year or about almost a year to come out. Just,
It was done pretty, like,
yeah.
last year. Pretty much.
It was done in like November last year, but it was just like sorting out how I was going to release it and all that, which took a
Yeah.
while.
And what are some of the themes and stories that explores?
It's just kind of like my life, like a lot of like lovey stuff, you know.
Quite personal then?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
To a fault, I think. But you know. gotta do it.
Interesting. Explain that a little bit more.
Oh.
His worst nightmare.
Nah, it's just like I like writing vulnerable lyrics, and I love hearing vulnerable lyrics. Like American football, some of their lyrics are just like so straight up and plain, and I love that. But then it is quite scary, like putting yourself, like, you know, showing all your tricks and everything. Not tricks, but you know.
Who are some of your biggest inspirations when it comes to making music?
Matt Haley, he's 975 probably, one of them.
I think a lot of people would agree.
These guys, Green Day, bit of John Hopkins.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Awesome.
it's a lot of people.
Do you have sort of a set process when it comes to songwriting, or you kind of go with the flow a bit more?
I just kind of go with the flow, really. I don't really think I have a formula or
Yeah.
anything like that. Just kind of see if it happens, it happens.
Cool.
Yeah.
Another song then. What have
Yeah.
we got up next?
This one's like a little acoustic one, which hasn't come out yet. But it's called Aim Life Like That.
Radioactive exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Met a girl, she pulled me out of bed. It's a blur. Good things don't seem to last. She returned home to a different man. Ain't life like that? 2 days we weekend saved my life. And I played in a game from outer space. And we bathed, vaped and raved to the past. Ain't life like that? I wandered in and out of different past futures that I would have killed to have no relay. All I thought about was that ain't life like that. So I give it all up for a boy. Not a boy, he's such a man. And I turned and I ran and I ran and I ran. Ain't life like that? But ain't life like that? 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 Life's like so bad. My life's just bad. Life's like just bad. But ain't life like that?
Beautiful. I definitely hear at the start of that song the sort of more solo Matt Healy
Yeah.
influences in it,
Yeah.
for sure.
Sure.
Let's talk about You Last Night, which is... Oh, wait, I just realised how that sounded. Let's talk about... let's talk about the single called You Last Night that you released a week ago now.
Yeah.
What's that song about?
Just like a great night, you know. I think it's like pretty self-explanatory if you listen to it. But yeah, it's just like a happy song. It was like the first time I've like.
I'm blushing.
Nah, yeah, it's just a happy song, you know.
A happy song.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what are your plans for the near future then? Are you hoping to get some gigs done soon?
Yeah, well, hopefully we
Now
have
that we're sort of in the time where
Yeah.
we can.
tomorrow night. We're playing at San Fran.
Yep.
With Ricky and Eli Superfly.
Amazing. And where can we get tickets for that?
It's a great question.
At the door.
Or on Low Strung's
Yep.
Facebook page or Instagram page, there'll be a link to the tickets there.
Cool. Where can the listeners sort of keep up to date with what you're doing? We've discovered you don't have Facebook.
Yeah, I'll make a Facebook page tonight.
Okay.
But also on Instagram, my name's Tom Verberne, which is kind of hard to spell, but you know.
Sweet. Now we've got time for one last song.
Yeah,
What
this
do
one we're gonna play You Last Night.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I got a tune.
That's so good.
Someone asked me knock knock.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Oh, I see what you did.
Nice, bro. Appreciate that. That's what you're here for.
Tom Verberne here in the Active Live Room.
Sweet as.
With you last night, with you last night, I finally saw around you last night. I finally fell into your arms last night. We talked and talked until the sun was light. With you last night, with
Amazing. Thank you, Tom Verberne, so much for joining us
Thanks for
today,
having
and
me.
band as well. Also, a big thank you to the listeners out there for tuning in. I'm
outs.
Aimee. Thanks for listening. I'll be here next week. And of course, a huge thank you to New Zealand On Air Music as well for everything that you do. Ka kite, everybody.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.